Hi, my name is Vaishnavi Tyagi, and I don't think feminism is a reality in a rural area because people still think feminism is a taboo in a rural society. People still think women in prominent position is a taboo, is a bad thing in the rural society. Because even when a woman becomes a sarpanch in the village, thanks to reservations, their son or their husband goes around the village and calls themselves a sarpanch, and people throughout the village gladly call them sarpanch because they believe women do not belong in the prominent position in the society. Unlike the Me Too movement, where women came out and spoke about sexual harassment in the workplace, women in rural areas are still facing from marital law, domestic violence, honor killing, and the family has the ultimate control over women's sexuality. And because of that, domestic violence is normal, honor killing is normal, and sati was normal because what's good a woman without her husband, right? Empowerment of women is a process in which the women take control of their own life, setting their own agendas, gaining skills, building self-confidence, solving problems, and developing self-reliance. No one can empower another. Only the individual can empower themselves, and to make choices or speak out against social norms. Institutions within the society, within the state and civil society are just the supporting process that can nurture self-empowerment of women through the collective efforts of the women movements. As I go to the rural hinterlands, away from the metros and the cities, I realize that problem is still so deep-rooted, and we are just scratching the surface and healing it. Feminism hasn't yet trickled down the rural areas. It has, yes, affected the urban consciousness, but the rural areas are still remain unaffected. They are still generations away from getting there. Even our Supreme Court refused to recognize marital rape as a law because it affects the family, the basic social structure of Indian society. I personally feel coupled with class and caste, looking on the development issue through through a lens of gender can help solve a lot of our issues. The question is how. We need to sensitize more men, and especially in the development professional, to take up the baton. Coupled with more women working in the rural hinterlands of our country, development with respect to gender in rural India is trapped in a vicious circle. We need more women volunteers to work in rural India, but the environment is not exactly conducive for women. But at the same time, unless a woman enters the Chakravyuh, it can't be broken. As a conducive for a woman, but at the same time, unless a woman enters the Chakravyuh, it cannot be broken. A woman, on the other hand, if she decides, can do wonders on a rural level with respect to gender issues. All the talk of feminism in cities on social media will remain trapped in the space unless women visit rural India and help feminism trickle down. I see more and more women-run NGOs in urban spaces. That sadly isn't the case when it comes to rural India. Lots of NGOs are run by men with a focus on education, sanitation, agriculture, water, health, etc., but not necessarily gender. I have limited view as to how do we change the scenario. For a start, I think we need fellowship sponsoring women in particular to work in rural India with focus on gender. It is also the collective responsibility of all those in development space to ensure that this becomes a good model to ensure it succeeds. Feminism, the talk of it, the movement needs to trickle down. It needs to break its predominantly urban and linguistic shackles and enter the realm of a common tongue. And we need to educate not only girls but also boys in this country about it. The question is, how soon?